What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about building a brand and business in 2022 and why it's so important to make sure that you're adapting and shifting yourself to the new era that we're living in. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you don't, you're gonna have a huge setback. But before we dive into this, guys, I would really appreciate if you like, subscribe, comment, share, drop this anywhere that you feel that other people can get value as well from. Guys, going into this topic, building your brand and business in 2022, it's so crucial. And the first thing I want to tell you guys is you have to understand when you're going into this game, you have to really do stuff that's going to set yourself apart from the rest in your industry. Specifically, I'm going to use examples of health and fitness because that's what I primarily help coaches with and brands is build their health and fitness brands and businesses to take them to that next level and scale them. So I'll be using a lot of examples of that, but keep in mind, this is all usable topics and tactics that you can apply to your specific business, not only in health and fitness. But just to keep it simple, I will be using the health and fitness, conversation. So here's an example. Number one, there's more and more coaches, trainers, wellness professionals in this industry more than ever. And the same goes with other people in other industries. You're seeing more and more people just putting themselves out there in trying to be entrepreneurs and trying to find side gigs because they've realized that you cannot just make money anymore from your day-to-day job, right? So more and more people are taking on other types of opportunities to make extra income. So what does that do? That floods your industry up. It makes your industry, yes, it's growing your industry, but it's also flooding it up, meaning there's just more people in your industry that you have to separate yourself apart, right? Which is good and bad. The reason why it's bad at first is because now you have to really drive harder to stick out and see who's gonna be the person that's gonna make it or break it, right? In your industry. The good thing about this is that once you do make it, you really set yourself apart. Once you do make it, you really can tell who's quality and who's not amongst the rest, right? And the other cool thing is that we're in an industry of so much abundance of resources for you to be able to capitalize on building your brand and business, right? So going back to the health and fitness topics that I'm gonna be using as examples, the most important thing you need to understand going into this as a health and fitness professional is finding what you're gonna specialize in. Or whatever you specialize already, making sure you focus on that, right? So make sure you focus on your specialization because your specialization is what's gonna take you to that next level, all right? I don't wanna work with somebody who's just general, just to give me general results. I want somebody who's gonna help me with my specific goals at hand, my tasks that I wanna achieve going into this era. So if I'm somebody who's suffering through pain for a year or two, specifically in my back, I want to work with a coach or a therapist or somebody who specializes specifically in that area who I know is going to help me get out of that back pain that I've been suffering for over a year. I don't want to be through that anymore. I'm not going to go work with somebody who's generally broadened themselves and they're just considered the fitness guy or the fitness girl to help me lose some weight, build some muscle, do all these different things, do some boxing, do some weightlifting, no, I want to work with a specialist who's going to help attack my problem, all right? So you have to become problem solvers in today's world. More than ever, if you become a specific problem solver, then now you can actually make more money. You can charge a premium because people pay premiums for people who solve that specific problem that they have, all right? So making sure that you have that in place is very important. Now another thing, your pitch. How is your pitch, right? How are you pitching yourself to people? How are you getting your message out, right? Where are you getting your message out? That's gonna be super important. You need to ask yourself, first, is my pitch make sense to the audience I'm talking to? And is my pitch on a array of different online platforms, right? You wanna get yourself out there. You wanna make sure your pitch and your message is out there. And you wanna make sure you're being seen. Now, on top of your pitch, you want to make sure that you're on the right online platforms. But this goes back to where is your audience hanging out? Where are those specific people that you're meant to work with and solve their problems? Where are they going? Where are they seeing content? Where are they spending time? You have to do a little bit research, right? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok? Is it YouTube? Is it LinkedIn? Is it a few of them? Maybe it's just two of them. You need to do that research. You got to dive in there and start doing that. Also, as well as blogs and other people's websites that they might be talking about certain things, that might be other places for you to get your message out there and do a collaboration too, because now you can get your eye seen on that audience. TV, podcast is a huge one, right? Other platforms and publications where people are talking about your specific industry, right? And your specific specialty and niche, right? So look for those different places that you can get your clear message to the audience you know you're supposed to get that message to, right? On top of that, knowing that the online platforms is a huge component, you also want to make sure that now when you get that going, you want to make sure that you're building a sense of credibility, all right? You're building a sense of credibility. How do you do that? How do you build your credibility up? Well, it's by putting good content, all right? Good valuable content. That's the first way to build your credibility up. If you're putting good content and people are getting results and you're working with the right people and they're getting results and you're getting testimonials, you're getting feedback, you're getting clients talking about you, that's all credibility, right? When people give you that word of mouth referral, that's credibility from your client that had an experience with you, creating that credibility for you with that person they know to bring them in. And the same thing goes when you're now at the next level and you're talking in front of different media outlets to gain credibility. You're getting different resources, you're being featured on different stuff to gain credibility because of your expertise and your authority. By placing your authority in the right place, creating that for yourself through the right content and creating results for people, you can now have a bigger credibility to leverage when it comes to building your brand and driving revenue for your business. Now from there, you guys, you can disrupt. You can disrupt in your industry, you can expand yourself to the next level, and you can really take things to heights like never before because you have that credibility. Everything's in alignment, your pitch, your positioning, your premiums, everything you have is working synergistically, which is gonna help you to disrupt. And disrupt means that now you're the dominator in your niche, in your market. And when you can disrupt in your market, done, right? Because really at the end of the day, we know that there's usually only 2, max 3 people in your niche that can all work in the level of disruption, right? Beyond that, nobody's gonna really work with other people, maybe at a lower level, but as far as being the premiums, there's usually only 2 to 3 people in a specific niche area in any industry that dominate that space. Think about it, right? If you hear, let's talk about phones, right? Let's talk about phones. Apple and the Android, right? These guys have kicked out all these other brands out there, right? So they're the really 2 dominant ones because they've disrupted their spaces and they set themselves apart. So really they're the ones that are the biggest ones. You hear, companies like Lyft and Uber, right? They have other companies similar to them that have tried coming up, but they're not nowhere to what Uber and Lyft are. So you always see either 2 or 3 max. Usually it's 2 that become the disruptors. So when you can learn how to do that, guys, efficiently, that's where you're gonna see growth and elevation. That's where you're gonna take things to the next level, and that's where you're gonna win. Guys, if you got value out of this video, I would appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe, show some love, because the more love you show me, the more love I can show back.